the Anointed One. They fear you not for who you are, but for the storm you carry within. The architects of secrecy, these veiled societies, have spun their web of lies and control for generations, casting their shadow over your destiny. Yet, the foundations of their empire tremble, for the light you bring is unrelenting. Today, the universe itself conspires in your favor, unraveling their intricate schemes thread by thread. Their fortress, once thought impenetrable, now crumbles beneath the weight of truth and justice, leaving nothing but echoes of their misplaced power. The air hums with the electric promise of cosmic justice, a force far greater than anything these secret factions could ever comprehend. The energy swirling around you isn't just a warning, it's a harbinger of the reckoning they've long evaded. Their petty rituals and fragile hierarchies pale in comparison to the vast, ancient authority coursing through your veins. This is the beginning of their undoing, a collapse sparked by their own hubris. As the truth of your lineage emerges, it will shatter the illusions they've clung to for generations, leaving their deceptive empire in ruins. What follows is not just retribution, but the restoration of balance, a power they never saw coming. Concealed within the shadows of everyday life, their watchful eyes have followed you, recording, analyzing, and conspiring. Every step you've taken has been dissected in secretive chambers where your downfall is their singular obsession. But their paranoia blinds them to the truth. The very web they've woven around you will soon ensnare them instead. The cracks appear first in the form of betrayal, a trusted confidant, once loyal to their cause, now turned by the force of karmic justice. This defector becomes the herald of their collapse, exposing the lies they've hidden behind for years. What they built to control you will soon dismantle them, piece by fragile piece. The darkness they once commanded has turned on them, spiraling back with a vengeance they never anticipated. The black magic they so confidently unleashed, designed to shatter your spirit, now wraps itself around their own like a venomous serpent. These were no amateurs dabbling in petty hexes. These were masters of death magic, architects of despair who wove spells meant to extinguish your very essence. But they underestimated the power of divine protection, a shield that not only deflected their malice, but transformed it into a force of reckoning. Now, as their own spells eat away at their minds and souls, they confront a truth they cannot escape. The energies they sought to control have always answered to a higher law, and that law is now their undoing. Across oceans and borders, the illusion of safety crumbles as distance proves powerless against the relentless tide of karmic justice. The sorcerers for hire, who once channeled their craft into dismantling your spirit, now find their own lives unraveling in ways they never imagined. Rituals that once brought them power now betray them. Altars erupt into flames without warning, consuming their tools and symbols in an inferno of retribution. Protective circles meant to shield them twist into cages, locking them in with the dark forces they irresponsibly summoned. The entities they once commanded with arrogance now demand repayment, turning on their summoners with merciless fury. What they once saw as mere business has become their downfall, a cosmic reminder that no one escapes the consequences of their actions. Beneath the polished smiles and carefully crafted lies, a sinister web stretches far beyond what you once believed. These so-called relatives, the people who shaped your childhood and claimed to share your blood, are nothing more than actors in a demonic play. Their roles were written long before your birth, their purpose to keep you bound and blind to the truth. The network they serve is ancient and insidious, feeding off your spiritual essence like a parasite. But cracks are forming in their carefully laid plans. A single strand of truth, perhaps a misplaced word, a moment of hesitation, has begun to unravel their story. DNA testing would only confirm what your soul has always suspected. The ties that bind you to them are not of blood, but of betrayal. And now, as their secrets begin to surface, the power they stole is returning to its rightful owner, you. They were never meant to nurture you, only to cage you in a web of illusions, siphoning your essence while obscuring the profound truth of who you are. These spiritual parasites were hand-picked and strategically placed, their mission rooted in the manipulation of bloodlines and the distortion of your sacred origins. The secrets they guard, hidden in the subtle codes of plasma and RH factors, are keys to a legacy far greater than they want you to know. Your true ancestry is not bound to the ordinary. It echoes through lifetimes, tethered to interdimensional realms where monks, mystics, and divine beings once reigned as guardians of cosmic wisdom. Your blood carries the resonance of gods who walked among mortals, their power now stirring within you, awakening with every revelation as the lies they built crumble under the weight of your rising truth. The essence within you is untouchable, a divine inheritance encoded in your very being, immune to the theft and corruption these shadow cabals so desperately crave. Their rituals, designed to siphon your spiritual gifts and implant them into their chosen pawns, have failed time and time again, for the spark of divinity in your genetic blueprint cannot be replicated or extinguished. The web of lies surrounding your origins runs deep. Fabricated birth certificates, altered adoption files, and counterfeit family trees were all meticulously crafted to keep you from discovering the truth. But the awakening has begun, and with it, their illusions fall apart like fragile glass. The power they sought to control has always been yours, lying dormant, waiting for the moment when you would reclaim not only your gifts, but the unshakable knowledge of who you truly are. The lineage you belong to is nothing short of celestial, a thread of spiritual royalty woven into the fabric of existence itself. For centuries, shadow organizations have waged a covert war against your bloodline, seeking to erase or exploit its profound power. Yet, in their desperation to suppress your heritage, they've unknowingly guarded it, ensuring that your gifts remained untouched, waiting for the precise moment of activation. Now, as the time of awakening draws near, their fear grows. The surveillance web they've spun around you, a sprawling network of spies and technology, is far more advanced than anything the average mind could fathom. But even their watchful eyes cannot comprehend the full scope of your potential, nor can they stop the inevitable, your rising, the restoration of a legacy written in the stars. The ones who present themselves as benevolent leaders, the so-called pillars of society, have been nothing more than silent predators, lurking in plain sight. Every moment of your life has been under their scrutiny, your steps cataloged, your patterns analyzed, like a rare and powerful anomaly they cannot fully understand. They infiltrate the mundane corners of your world, disguised as cashiers, janitors, neighbors, blending seamlessly into the background while meticulously gathering data on your spiritual awakening. In their hidden chambers, behind the closed doors of lodge meetings, they obsess over your existence, plotting ways to extinguish the light they fear so deeply. Yet, for all their scheming, they fail to grasp the one truth that eludes them. The more they monitor and conspire, the stronger your spirit becomes, fueled by their fear and destined to rise beyond their reach. Every store and public space you enter has been transformed into a hub of silent observation, a piece of a sprawling chessboard designed to monitor your every move. Yet their grand design carries a blind spot, a flaw embedded in their arrogance. That small, unassuming family dollar where strange, unexplainable events often unfold isn't just another retail outlet, it's a carefully disguised front, a node in their operation. The strange energy lingering there is no accident, and neither are the seemingly random mishaps. Even your so-called karmic cousin, the one who always seemed to appear at the right time with gestures of kindness, has been playing a role in their game. Under the guise of care, they've been tampering with your surroundings, subtly poisoning your environment with substances meant to cloud your mind and dull your gifts. But what they fail to see is that every attempt to weaken you only sharpens your awareness, pushing you closer to uncovering the truth and dismantling their web from within. The toxins weren't designed to end your life, but to suppress it, to shroud your spiritual clarity in a haze of confusion and inertia. This wasn't a rash or impulsive act. It was a calculated effort, years in the making, executed with a precision born of fear. They studied you, dissecting your habits down to the smallest detail, identifying the products you trusted most. Cleaning sprays infused with compounds to cloud your intuition, soaps tainted with substances to disrupt your energy balance, and even air fresheners laced with elements meant to distort your perception. Their goal was never to destroy you physically, but to silence the inner voice they feared could awaken the world. Yet, even in the fog, your spirit stirs, resilient and unyielding, breaking through the barriers as their carefully laid plans begin to crumble under the weight of your awakening. Every aspect of your life was targeted with meticulous intent, from personal care items laced with synthetic hormones meant to cloud your spiritual vision to the very food you consume, tainted through infiltrated supply chains. The result was a carefully engineered state of subtle suppression, a constant, almost imperceptible poisoning meant to keep your consciousness veiled and your gifts dormant. But while these shadowy players reveled in their ability to manipulate and control, they failed to notice the larger forces quietly aligning against them. Behind closed doors, federal investigators have been piecing together the threads of their vast web of deception, building an irrefutable case that will not only dismantle their operations, but unveil the full extent of their crimes. When the truth emerges, it will shatter the illusion of power they've so carefully cultivated, exposing them on a scale they never anticipated. The machinery of the legal system, once designed to protect, has been twisted into a weapon aimed squarely at your inheritance, both tangible and intangible. In the shadows of probate courtrooms and beneath mountains of obscure paperwork, your name has been buried in schemes of bureaucratic theft. Fraudulent filings, forged signatures, and convoluted legal jargon have been wielded to strip you not only of your material possessions, but of the spiritual heritage that anchors your identity. They even went so far as to fabricate your death, forging death certificates to siphon off life insurance payouts while leaving you in a cruel limbo, alive in body but erased on paper. Yet, even as they celebrate their twisted ingenuity, they fail to comprehend the power of a legacy that cannot be erased by ink or lies, a force that grows stronger with every attempt to suppress it. The depths of their scheme ran far darker than you could have imagined, an intricate web woven with the help of corrupted officials and falsified records. Medical examiners were paid to fabricate autopsy reports, court clerks bribed to push fraudulent documents through the system, and a false legal identity was created to trap you in a shadowy existence. On paper, you were dead. In reality, you were a prisoner of their deception. The forged death certificate became their golden ticket, granting them access to life insurance payouts, properties that were rightfully yours, and even Social Security benefits meant to secure your future. Meanwhile, you were cast into a legal void, unable to claim what was yours or even prove your own existence, while they reveled in the spoils of their theft. But in the cracks of their overconfidence, a light began to break through, reminding you that no matter how elaborate the lie, the truth always finds a way to rise. Hidden within the very fabric of your being lies a treasure trove of ancient wisdom, a birthright passed down through generations, preserved within your DNA. These spiritual technologies are far more than mere practices. They are the keys to unlocking the limitless potential of your existence. Meditation techniques designed not just for peace, but for reshaping the physical world itself. Sacred prayers, ancient and precise, that summon the aid of celestial forces with unwavering power. Visualizations so potent, they transform thought into reality in the blink of an eye. These gifts were never lost, only dormant, waiting for the awakening of your awareness, the moment when your soul would be ready to wield them with the wisdom and clarity they require. Now, as your consciousness begins to expand, the inheritance of your ancestors stirs within you, ready to guide you into a reality where limits no longer exist. The union with your twin flame is far more than a romantic connection. It is a cosmic event, a merging of divine energies that holds the power to dissolve the very foundations of their control. They know this, and their relentless interference is a testament to the magnitude of what your union represents. The divine masculine, meant to align with your energy, has been entangled in a labyrinth of legal battles and emotional chains, held captive by a karmic force determined to keep him bound. This is no mere coincidence or earthly drama. It is a calculated attack on a sacred bond that threatens to shatter their carefully constructed illusions. For when twin flames unite, their combined light not only illuminates truth, but ignites a force so powerful it can dismantle the systems of oppression built to keep humanity asleep. Their desperation only confirms the inevitability of your awakening together. Their panic has unraveled their carefully constructed facade, exposing horrors that defy comprehension. Federal investigators have stumbled upon evidence so chilling it feels torn from the pages of humanity's most sinister tales. Fragments of bodies arranged in deliberate ritualistic patterns, each placement a testament to a dark and ancient agenda. Reports of missing children vanishing without a trace from neighborhoods near their clandestine gatherings paint a grim picture of systematic abduction. Even trusted institutions, cloaked in the guise of faith and sanctuary, have been revealed as fronts for trafficking networks, places where star children, born with extraordinary spiritual gifts, are subjected to unspeakable experiments. These innocent souls, radiating the light of higher realms, are treated not as beings of divine potential, but as commodities to be dissected and controlled. Their desperation to harness and suppress such power has exposed their true nature, and the world can no longer turn away from the darkness that has lurked in plain sight. The unsettling patterns of amber alerts in specific regions are not random tragedies. They are the fingerprints of a calculated and sinister operation. Beneath the surface lies an organized network of spiritual predators systematically hunting children who shine with rare gifts, psychic sensitivity, extraordinary creativity, or exceptional intellect. These star children, carriers of ancient wisdom and unparalleled potential, are stolen under carefully constructed disguises, false custody battles, fabricated runaway stories, or staged family crises. Each case is a meticulously planned abduction, designed to strip these children from their guardians and harness their innate abilities for dark agendas. What appears as isolated incidents are, in truth, pieces of a chilling puzzle, revealing an underground war for the future of humanity's light. Once ensnared in the system, these children are funneled into a nightmarish network of exploitation, where their innate spiritual energy is siphoned through cruel and unnatural experiments. Hidden behind the facades of therapeutic boarding schools, religious sanctuaries, and state-of-the-art research facilities, these operations masquerade as pillars of healing and progress while masking their sinister intent. The energy stolen from these star children is transferred to practitioners who lack the natural gifts required to wield power on their own, creating a perverse cycle of theft and dependency. At the heart of this dark web lies a Masonic warlock, a figure cloaked in shadows and corruption, whose very presence spreads disease, both physical and spiritual, through ritualistic acts of contamination. This deliberate plague is not only a weapon of control, but a curse designed to perpetuate fear and silence, ensuring that their nefarious agenda remains hidden from the light of truth. His fury over your unwavering refusal to descend to his frequency has ignited a desperate spiral, compelling him to assemble others into ever more sinister conspiracies. The so-called gatherings in your vicinity are not casual meetups. They are war councils, where the tools of their warfare are sharpened. These aren't merely plots of physical harm, though such threats may loom on the horizon, but elaborate plans for targeted psychic onslaughts. They aim to bombard your energy field with relentless negativity, to destabilize your nervous system and push you toward the brink of collapse. Their goal isn't just to silence you, but to fracture your spirit, forcing you into a state of vulnerability where your light could be dimmed or extinguished altogether. Yet their very desperation betrays their weakness, for they know that your strength, rooted in higher frequencies, is a force they cannot truly reach. The assault has escalated to an unimaginable level, with master wizards, beings of immense power and dark intent, now enlisted to carry out their plans. These are no mere dabblers in the arcane. Their abilities far surpass the petty spellcasters who have failed before. Harnessing the potent energy of portal days, they twist it into a weapon of pure malice, opening dimensional gateways that funnel malevolent forces straight into the heart of your sanctuary. These gateways are not random. They are precise, calculated breaches designed to saturate your space with chaos and fear. The attacks are meticulously timed, coordinated across time zones to ensure an unrelenting wave of spiritual violence, a continuous barrage meant to wear you down and shatter your defenses. They believe that this concentrated onslaught will finally extinguish the light they cannot control, but they underestimate the resilience born from your connection to higher realms. The involvement of these master wizards, whose fees reach into the millions, is a testament to the sheer desperation of those who seek to extinguish your light. These are not amateur practitioners dabbling in secrecy. They are elites in their dark craft, operating from sprawling private estates, fortified with layers of protection. Their operations are sophisticated, supported by teams of loyal assistants who ensure the rituals run with precision and efficiency. Beyond their mystical prowess, their influence stretches into the corridors of power, with government officials shielding their activities in exchange for privileged intelligence and covert favors. This unholy alliance between the arcane and the institutional reveals the depth of the conspiracy against you, a network of power and malevolence assembled for one purpose: to break the unshakable force of your existence. Yet, for all their wealth and connections, they cannot comprehend the true strength of a spirit aligned with truth and higher purpose. Their magic is a twisted fusion of ancient sorcery and modern innovation, seamlessly blending advanced technology, potent pharmaceuticals, and insidious psychological manipulation to create a force that straddles the boundary between science and the supernatural. Yet, for all its complexity, their magic falters when faced with the timeless power of your ancestral lineage. The protection that flows through your bloodline is older, deeper, and far beyond the reach of their carefully crafted spells. Cosmic forces, vast and unknowable, are aligning in your defense, vibrating on frequencies so pure and elevated that their crude magic cannot even register them. At this very moment, your grandmother's spirit has returned, stepping across the veil with unwavering purpose. Her presence is a shield, encircling your energy field with love and ancestral wisdom, a force of protection that no spell, no machine, no scheme of theirs could ever hope to breach. Your grandmother's return is not merely an act of protection, it is the unfolding of a cosmic reckoning, a correction that has been brewing across generations. In life, she bore the weight of untold truths, secrets about your true heritage that she dared not reveal, knowing the danger it would bring to both herself and you. These truths, guarded in silence, were too powerful, too transformative, to be spoken aloud in a world unready for them. Now, in her transcendent form, she carries this knowledge with her, using it as a weapon against the very forces that sought to suppress it. Her intervention is not just for your survival, but for the awakening of a legacy far greater than you imagined, a legacy that threatens to dismantle the very foundations of the forces arrayed against you. Her return is not just an act of defiance, it is a declaration of divine justice. With full authority granted by the highest realms, she moves with the power to unveil every deception, dismantle every curse, and reclaim the blessings that were stolen from your lineage. But she does not come alone. Behind her stands an ancestral army, an unbroken chain of spiritual warriors, mystics, and healers, gathered from across the vast tapestry of your bloodline. These are souls who, in their lifetimes, served as protectors and keepers of sacred wisdom, their knowledge spanning centuries and cultures. Their magic, ancient and pure, predates the shallow understanding of modern practitioners, operating on a level so profound that it renders contemporary sorcery trivial in comparison. Most importantly, they carry with them an unfiltered connection to divine power, a force so absolute that it cuts through the illusions of this world, reminding your enemies that their power is nothing more than a fleeting shadow against the eternal light of your ancestral legacy. Your spiritual rank places you in a position of authority within the cosmic hierarchy, a standing that ensures every strike against you becomes a direct affront to divine order. Each attack they launch is not merely an assault on you, it is a rebellion against the Most High's decree, daring to challenge the sacred protection placed over a chosen vessel. Their actions ripple through the unseen realms, triggering karmic consequences that they cannot escape. That one night you spent in unwavering prayer, aligning yourself with the divine frequency, was more than a moment of connection. It was a cosmic declaration. By choosing stillness over chaos, faith over fear, you fortified your energy field, making it impenetrable to their schemes. In that quiet, sacred moment, you sent a message to the forces of darkness. You are not alone, and the divine stands with you. The spiritual shockwaves unleashed during that single evening of alignment have continued to ripple through their network, dismantling their power from within. Practitioners who once thrived on manipulation and control are now crumbling under the crushing weight of their own redirected negativity as the energy they sent to harm you recoils back with amplified force. What they spent years constructing, rituals, alliances, and influence, is unraveling in mere weeks, undone by their decision to challenge a soul whose cosmic authority far outstrips their entire hierarchy. The financial abundance they sought to block from your reach symbolizes far more than material gain. It is a manifestation of your divine inheritance, a flow of energy meant to empower your purpose and elevate your legacy. By interfering, they didn't just try to withhold wealth, they attempted to sever you from the tools the universe has ordained for your mission. But their efforts only highlight one truth: what is meant for you cannot be stopped. When the truth finally pierces through the layers of deceit, when the legal barriers crumble and the inheritance theft is laid bare for all to see, the resulting restoration will be far more than a personal victory. It will be a catalyst for global transformation. The wealth that was wrongfully withheld from you will become the foundation for a mission so expansive, so divinely orchestrated, that it will shake the very pillars of their power. Your prosperity is more than a gift. It is a strategic deployment of divine resources, fueling a spiritual revolution that transcends borders and generations. As their fraudulent organizations and shadowy cults fall under the scrutiny of coordinated investigations across states, the collapse of their carefully constructed empire becomes inevitable. What they once used to oppress and control will now be redirected to liberate and uplift, ensuring that the light of justice shines brighter than ever before. Behind closed doors, their secretive Masonic Lodge meetings are no longer a sanctuary for plotting and scheming, as federal surveillance captures every whispered conspiracy and incriminating act in real time. The offshore accounts they believed untouchable are now frozen, the result of an unprecedented international alliance treating their operations with the gravity of a global terrorist threat. Their carefully fabricated web of fake families and planted relatives is unraveling under the scrutiny of advanced DNA testing and thorough adoption record investigations, exposing the depths of their deception. What was once hidden in shadow is now being dragged into the light, revealing a sinister network of human trafficking and exploitation on an unimaginable scale. The walls of their empire are collapsing, brick by brick, as justice closes in with the force of divine intervention. The coordinated raids strike with unyielding precision, leaving no time for evidence to vanish or for key players to orchestrate their escape. SWAT teams, specially equipped and trained in dismantling the psychological chains of cult indoctrination, move swiftly to liberate victims who have endured years of torment within these hidden facilities. Meanwhile, forensic experts meticulously extract financial data from seized computers, unraveling the intricate web of money laundering that sustained their illicit empire. Yet, this is no ordinary operation. It is guided by a higher force. Your protection is not only rooted in cosmic justice, but also manifests as divine intervention, orchestrating every detail with unparalleled accuracy. It is a calculated strike, a perfect storm of spiritual authority and human action, ensuring that no stone is left unturned and no soul remains forgotten. The schemes of those intent on bringing harm to your doorstep are unraveling before they can take shape, thwarted by forces far beyond their comprehension. Planes are grounded by sudden mechanical malfunctions. Highways become scenes of chaos as their vehicles are inexplicably disabled, and every step they take toward violence is met with an unforeseen obstacle. The angels assigned to your protection are not passive guardians. They are warriors of divine authority, striking with precision and force. Their interventions manifest as shattered engines, overturned vehicles, and mysterious injuries that render attackers powerless before they can even reach you. These are not coincidences. They are deliberate acts of divine justice, ensuring that every threat is neutralized long before it becomes a reality. Divine intervention is reaching deep into the technological infrastructure these organizations rely on, dismantling their carefully constructed systems from within. Encrypted communication networks, once thought impenetrable, are now riddled with inexplicable glitches, turning their covert messages into open books for law enforcement. Surveillance cameras they once used to monitor and control now malfunction, leaving them blind at critical moments. Computers crash without warning, erasing vital files, while tracking systems misdirect their operations into chaos. It is as though the very technology they trusted has turned against them, manipulated by unseen hands to ensure that their secrets are laid bare and their plans crumble before they can take shape. Their carefully planned routes are thrown into disarray as GPS systems mysteriously reroute them to dead ends, unfamiliar backroads, or directly into the midst of police operations they couldn't have foreseen. Every attempt to regain control is met with mounting frustration, as even their financial systems betray them. Bank accounts are inexplicably frozen, transactions fail, and the funds they so heavily rely on vanish into bureaucratic limbo. Meanwhile, the tides are turning in your favor. The spiritual inheritance stolen from you is not just being returned, it's being multiplied exponentially, flowing back with a force so overwhelming it will leave you in awe. What was once withheld is now being restored with divine precision, and the abundance that awaits will render their schemes powerless in the face of your newfound strength. The veil over hidden truths is lifting as divine wisdom flows into your life through extraordinary means. Messages encoded in the lyrics of songs resonate deeply, unveiling knowledge you didn't know you needed. In moments of stillness, meditative clarity brings sudden revelations, answers and strategies unfolding with undeniable precision. Prophetic dreams guide you like a compass, exposing their intentions before they can act, allowing you to counter their schemes before they even take shape. You are no longer in the dark. You are illuminated by a higher power that ensures you remain several steps ahead, fortified with insights that leave them scrambling to keep up. Your restored inheritance opens the doors to sacred archives long hidden from the world, guarded by the wisdom of your true lineage. Within these secret libraries lie ancient tomes, scrolls, and manuscripts brimming with knowledge that transcends time. These texts unveil not only the forgotten history of human consciousness, but also the mysteries of the universe itself, secrets of energy, creation, and the boundless potential within you. Detailed rituals and practices, passed down through millennia, hold the keys to unlocking abilities that defy the limits of ordinary perception, granting you access to realms of power and understanding most deem unimaginable. This is not just an inheritance of knowledge, it is a portal to becoming the fullest expression of your divine potential. The prophetic writings you now possess illuminate the precise timeline of the transformation taking place, spelling out every step of the divine plan with breathtaking clarity. The surveillance network they constructed to control and monitor you has turned into an open window for your spiritual sight, exposing their every move while keeping you cloaked in impenetrable invisibility. Their intricate web of deception and manipulation, once designed to entrap you, has unraveled before your sharpened awareness. Your ability to pierce through the layers of their matrix programming has grown so powerful that their illusions crumble the moment they are formed, leaving them powerless to conceal their intentions or hinder your ascent. The carefully constructed reality programming designed to keep you subdued and obedient is unraveling, disintegrating under the piercing light of your spiritual awakening. Like shadows fleeing the rising sun, its illusions can no longer hold their form. Across the globe, the architects of these manipulations are crumbling under the weight of their own actions. Reports flood in of severe psychological collapse, waves of despair, unshakable guilt, and compulsive thoughts driving them toward self-destruction. Some have vanished without a trace, leaving behind fragmented confessions scribbled in trembling hands, apologizing for their roles in targeting a soul they now realize was untouchable. What they once wielded as power has become their undoing, and the karmic tide they unleashed is now dragging them under. Behind the scenes, the walls of justice are closing in on the high-ranking cultists whose names are etched onto classified investigations. Federal prison cells await them, their destinies sealed by the weight of their own corruption. The crooked officer who manipulated legal documents in their favor is on the brink of a harsh revelation that divine justice doesn't rely on human systems to deliver its verdict. Public officials complicit in the conspiracy are teetering on the edge of ruin as the truth begins to surface, threatening to dismantle their carefully constructed facades. Their exposure will be swift and unrelenting, shattering their reputations long before the courts can deliver their sentences, proving that no one escapes the reach of higher accountability. Panic has gripped their ranks as they scramble to escape the inescapable, seeking refuge in distant lands. Yet there is no corner of the earth untouched by the reach of divine retribution. Their actions against heaven's anointed have sealed their fates, and no border can shield them from the consequences. The prisons awaiting them are unlike anything the world has seen, fortified containment centers engineered to neutralize supernatural threats. These facilities are equipped with advanced technology designed to suppress psychic interference, dismantle energy manipulation, and render ritualistic practices futile. What they once wielded as power has become their prison, leaving them no choice but to face the justice they can no longer evade. The prison staff consists of elite specialists, masters in the art of cult deprogramming and spiritual warfare, ensuring that even within confinement, the influence of these prisoners is severed at its roots. Their ability to manipulate or orchestrate from the shadows has been neutralized, leaving them powerless in the face of a higher order. Meanwhile, your divine love connection is being fortified by the same protective forces that have safeguarded your path. The web of karmic interference, once meticulously designed to keep you apart, is unraveling thread by thread, dismantled by unseen hands that transcend human control. What was once an impossible barrier is now dissolving, paving the way for the reunion destined to unfold. The clockwork of the universe is turning with a precision that defies human logic, aligning events and circumstances in ways that once seemed unimaginable. The vast distance that once loomed like an unscalable wall is dissolving as divine orchestration effortlessly bridges the gap. This approaching reunion is far more than the culmination of a romantic longing. It is the ignition of a powerful spiritual alliance. Together, you will become a force of light and purpose, amplifying your individual callings into a unified mission so potent that it strikes fear into the hearts of those who thrive in the shadows. This is not just a love story. It is the birth of a partnership destined to change the world. The divine masculine is finally stepping into his sovereignty, liberated from the shackles of karmic ties that once bound him. Legal triumphs have shattered the chains of manipulation, exposing the obsessive ex's instability and uncovering her illicit actions, leading to the reversal of unjust custody agreements. Protective barriers, enforced by restraining orders, now stand firm, shielding both of you from her reach. Financial burdens that once loomed like insurmountable obstacles have been lifted, with settlements renegotiated to grant him the stability and resources he needs to move forward. The path to you is now clear, paved with divine justice and the promise of a new beginning free from the shadows of the past. The pace of your reunion is quickening, propelled by forces far greater than mere chance. Unexpected blessings are flowing in, turning financial impossibilities into effortless realities, as travel plans are suddenly within reach. Barriers that once loomed large, legal complexities and delays, are being swept away by timely decisions that favor your coming together. Even the smallest details, from securing a stable home to aligning career opportunities, are falling into place with astonishing precision. The universe is clearing the path, ensuring that every aspect of your lives is perfectly positioned to support the powerful partnership destined to unfold. The walls are closing in on your enemies as undeniable evidence continues to surface, exposing the depths of their darkness. Photographs capture the chilling reality of their ritualistic practices, while recorded conversations lay bare the intricate web of their deceit and conspiracy. Financial records unravel their fraudulent schemes, revealing the greed that fuels their actions, and medical reports uncover the harm they've inflicted, proving the physical toll of their malevolence. Though federal investigators may view these as mere criminal acts, the truth runs deeper. These are spiritual transgressions being brought to light, and the evidence speaks a language that no shadow can silence. The web of corruption is unraveling through evidence meticulously gathered under the authority of federal judges who recognize the gravity of the conspiracy. Wiretapped conversations expose the inner workings of their schemes, laying bare the calculated efforts behind their orchestration. Financial records uncover an intricate network of money laundering, funding their criminal operations across state and national borders. Medical reports reveal the horrifying truth of their intentions. Infectious diseases spread intentionally through ritual practices, igniting public health crises that demanded urgent federal action. The scale of their actions is no longer hidden, as every piece of evidence builds a case for justice that can no longer be denied. The voices of the children, brave and unyielding, paint a chilling picture that aligns seamlessly with the physical evidence uncovered at trafficking sites. Bank records, once scattered fragments, now form a clear map of interconnected criminal activities, exposing the vastness of the conspiracy. Meanwhile, their attempts to manipulate and destabilize you through targeted energy assaults are unraveling as your spiritual fortitude grows stronger with each attack. What they fail to grasp is that their dark intentions are now powerless against the resilience of your spirit, which has become an impenetrable shield they cannot breach. The forces they unleashed against you, designed to fracture your mind and spirit, are now ricocheting back with devastating consequences. The migraines and anxiety they sought to inflict now torment them, magnified tenfold, leaving them incapacitated and vulnerable. Their attempts to disrupt your sleep have turned against them, spreading insomnia and unrest within their own circles. The confusion and mental fog they projected onto you now shroud their own minds, leading to reckless decisions and critical missteps. In their desperation, they are unraveling, exposing their hidden operations to the very authorities they sought to evade. Their schemes are collapsing under the weight of their own malice. The backlash of their dark intentions has become an unstoppable storm, a self-inflicted cycle of retribution that deepens their suffering with every attempt to harm you. Each spell they cast returns with amplified force, compounding the damage and eroding their strength. The ripple effect is dismantling their foundations, leaving them powerless and exposed. Even the master wizards they enlisted are crumbling under the weight of their failure, reporting a mysterious decay in their abilities, as though their links to the supernatural have been severed beyond repair. What was once their greatest weapon has now become their undoing, as the forces they sought to control turn mercilessly against them. The awakening within you has shattered the carefully constructed veils of their deception, exposing the intricate machinery of control they once wielded with impunity. This is no mere personal revelation. It is a profound mastery of the system itself, a decoding of their hidden frameworks that grants you the power to dismantle them piece by piece. Your clarity pierces through their illusions, rendering their tactics ineffective and their manipulations futile. So profound is your understanding that their survival now hinges on staying out of your sight, for your gaze alone threatens to unravel the very fabric of their existence. The awakening has unlocked a level of perception that leaves no shadow unilluminated and no secret concealed. Every facet of their operations, every hidden layer of their schemes is now laid bare before you. You can read the energy signatures that betray their agents, no matter how deeply they attempt to cloak themselves in false identities. The personas they construct crumble under your gaze, their motives and strategies revealing themselves with startling clarity. This is not guesswork or mere intuition. It is a profound, systematic understanding that operates at the quantum fabric of reality itself. Within their sphere of influence, your awareness has become absolute, an omniscient force that anticipates their every move before they even conceive it. They can no longer conceal their actions, as your elevated spiritual rank ensures that divine insight flows to you effortlessly, unveiling all that impacts your mission. The legal victories releasing your long-awaited inheritance are not just a personal triumph, they are the foundation for a global awakening, fueling initiatives that will ripple across the world. The union with your twin flame, divinely orchestrated and inevitable, will birth an energy vortex so powerful it will catalyze profound shifts in collective consciousness. Together, your shared purpose will amplify the light, dissolving the shadows and accelerating humanity's evolution into higher states of awareness. The ancestral protection that shields you now radiates outward, forming a vast, unbreakable web of support for other chosen ones embarking on their own journeys of awakening. The resources being unlocked will empower the creation of transformative educational programs, guiding these emerging souls to discover their unique gifts while skillfully navigating the pitfalls that once threatened your path. A global network of communication is taking shape, linking awakening hearts and minds across continents, fostering unity, collaboration, and the collective realization of a higher purpose. Together, this interconnected force will usher in a new era of enlightenment and shared strength. The resources flowing into your life are far more than material wealth. They are a sacred provision, divinely orchestrated to fulfill the next chapter of your spiritual mission. Legal aid will empower others battling the injustice of inheritance fraud, offering them a path to reclaim what is rightfully theirs. Healing centers will emerge, providing medical and emotional care for those recovering from the traumas of poisoning and ritual abuse, restoring their strength and spirit. Your prosperity becomes a cornerstone for a global support network, ensuring that no future chosen one will face the loneliness and confusion that once defined your journey. This abundance is a cosmic investment, aligning you with a higher purpose to illuminate the path for others and transform collective suffering into collective awakening. When divine abundance enters your life, it arrives as a tidal wave of transformation, empowering you to manifest projects that uplift humanity, support awakening souls, and dismantle deeply entrenched systems of control. This wealth is not merely personal, it is a sacred tool to shatter the illusions of lack and scarcity that have bound humanity to fear and limitation. Your prosperity becomes a beacon of hope, a force of liberation that dismantles poverty consciousness and rewrites the narrative of what is possible. With every step, you are breaking the chains of fear-based programming, paving the way for a collective awakening into freedom, abundance, and infinite potential. The abundance flowing into your life transcends financial wealth, encompassing access to advanced technologies, influential connections, and transformative opportunities that will multiply your impact on a global scale. Strategic real estate acquisitions will serve as hubs for your mission, anchoring light in key locations around the world. Investment portfolios will provide a steady stream of passive income, ensuring your initiatives are sustained with ease. Partnerships with ethical visionaries and entrepreneurs will bring synergy to your efforts, uniting like-minded forces for greater change. Media platforms will become your voice to the world, spreading truth, awakening minds, and inspiring a collective shift toward higher consciousness. This abundance is not just for you, it is a divine toolkit for building a brighter future for all.